what this all boils down to, there's certain people, and I'm not going to mention anybody's name because I don't want no conflict, and I don't want another arrest record on my record. You know what I'm saying? But there's 2 people in this fire department that the other ones don't like. But they've worked with them for 3 years and has never said a word bad about them. They've come to the training, but all of a sudden they wanted them gone. But in my opinion, the reason they wanted them gone, one of them's kin to the chief, and I'm his son-in-law. Have been for 30 years. That's the reason I went to jail, because they was talking bad about him. And I'll do it every day of the week if it takes it. I don't care. I mean, you know, I'm protecting my family. That's my family. 30 years, that's my family. And ain't nobody gonna talk bad about my family. And y'all be the same way. Most anybody with any kind of concern about their family be the same way.
And can I ask you why you think that is?
Them 2 guys do have felons, but them 2 guys are changing their life. And everybody deserves a second chance, in the chief's opinion. Everybody. The one guy that won't go on, he's been working for me for 3 years, and I've never seen him do nothing as far as drugs or anything goes. He's never done a thing. He helped me. He's been helping me for 3 years. He don't do nothing. And he shows up to the meetings. He's one of the ones that runs the calls all the time. But in my personal opinion, that's the reason they're trying to get Buddy out of here, is so they can get rid of them 2.
Does the criminal record affect their ability to get certifications as firefighters?
No, none whatsoever. Unless you're going to do medical. Now, it will on the medical side. But as far as the 160 side goes, no, it don't affect.
So no EMTs, but firefighters are firefighters?
Now, I'm not 100% positive on the medical part of it, but just from what I know of it, what I've done of it, yeah, it probably would, because you have to go through a background check, federal background check, you know, and that come up. But on the firefighting side, no, it don't have anything to do with it. As long as you're willing to volunteer and go and risk your life, you get that volunteer to go risk your life to go help somebody put out their house fire or grass fire or whatever it may be, you know. And these guys has got adequate training. They don't, you know, they're not been through the 160 and all that kind of stuff, but they're willing to go through it.
How many of y'all? Somebody mentioned that y'all have gotten some new firefighters been through. How many have got their 160 now? Do y'all have?
Well, the ones that joined us recently, there's 3 of them that's got 160 certification already that joined. Okay. So counting them 3 and me, there's 4 of us now. And counting the one that just started the training, there's 5 of us.
Now, how about on the EMT side? Have you got anybody new coming in on that yet?
Not on EMT, but every one of us that are 160 certified or CPR certified, you know, we can do CPR. The only thing we can't do is push oxygen. But we can actually go and do CPR or take vitals or anything to that nature. And like I said before, y'all was both here before, the only thing an EMT and EMR can do is push oxygen. EMT, if the person has their meds, they can assist in giving it. But as far as any kind of other medicine, they can't do nothing. I mean, don't get me wrong now. I mean, EMTs and first responders, they're there for when things happen like that. It helps the family feel better when they show up. That's a lot of it. I mean, sure, they're taking the vitals and they're doing what they can, but it gives the family a little confidence, And
before an actual ambulance comes.
Exactly. Yeah. And I got that, and we all do. I mean, you got somebody that shows up, somebody's here to help, it calms them down. And I understand that. I'm not denying that one bit, but it does. It calms them down. But in our area, as close as we are to town, by the time we get the call, the ambulance is already halfway here.
Yeah.
If you've ever been up at the dispatch office, they're all standing in there. When the call comes in, they run to the ambulance and they take off before they ever told us. 5, 10, sometimes, minutes ahead of time. And most of the time when we get there, the ambulance is done there. Just some of our, some of the rules that's out in the country, off the beaten path and stuff, sure, we'll get there first.
Gotcha.
Most of the time, the ambulance gets there first. And that's not an excuse either, whatsoever. That's not an excuse. Most of the time, the ambulance is there before we go.
So after tonight's meeting, where are we at as far as the department, Bethsadia Volunteer Department?
We've still got 5 active board members.
Okay.
There was one of them that was not here tonight, and why, I don't know. There's always some months there's 5 of us, and some months there's 8 of us, some months there's 9 of us. It's just according to their schedule whether they're here.
So tonight we had 2 members vote yes for it, 4 to vote no.
Right, for an election.
Right, and then there was 3 not here? Did I get that part right? Because you have 9?
No, there was only 1 that wasn't here. We had 1, 2.
But there were 7 sitting at the table.
7.
I think there were 7 sitting.
Well, I think they got that wrong tonight. I think we only have 8.
Well, I read the bylaws.
No,
it's supposed to be 9.
There's 9, yeah. Maurice was one of the board.
Okay.
And he's no longer here, and we haven't replaced him. You're right.
Okay.
Yeah, there's 9.
Okay.
But,
Gotcha.
He resigned, so he can't move.
Yeah.
Just like the rest of us, they resigned.
Now, Dan resigned. There were 2 others. Did they resign?
I'm not absolutely positive on that. We'll see next month. But, I'm not absolutely positive.
So if I'm understanding everything right, you guys just going to continue on as you are? You're going to bring in new firefighters, new EMTs as time goes
on? We're going to bring in
on?
new members and vote them, or train them as we need it.
Who is the trainer? I didn't.
Keith Bates. He works for the city fire department.
Bates.
Keith Bates.
How do you spell his last name?
Bates. Bates.
Okay, Bates. All right.
He's a city paid fireman. He's been in this department nearly as long as I have. Me and him went through EMT school together back some 15 years ago. He's went on and made a career out of it. And I knew I wasn't going to make a paid career out of it. But like I said, the main reason they're wanting Buddy out of here is to push the other 2 firemen. And I believe that with all my heart. I've been in this department 18 years. I've been the assistant chief for 15 years. The last 3 years I resigned because of medical reasons. But Buddy Carden,
and you're back now as assistant fire chief, right?
Buddy Carden has never, ever in 15 years, 18 years that I know of, had anyone go to the hospital that got hurt. When they talk safety, he does not do anything unsafe whatsoever. This department ain't never run, quote, by the books, but it's always run efficient.
So if I'm hearing what you're saying right, and I'm using my words, not yours, basically that group that left, it's all bullshit.
It's all what?
Bullshit.
You can quote that if you want to, that you said it.
Yeah, I will. Well, all I'm getting at is, it's like
that they're wanting somebody pushed out so they can run their way. And I'm going to give you an example of that right now. Buddy had some medical problems about 3 months ago. He appointed me the chief for 30 days. We had one other member that was spending money without authorization. I told them they couldn't spend that money no more, and they walked out. I'm not quoting any names, but that's what happened. That'll be further down the line when everything comes to a boil. He walked out.
So,
because he was spending money. The chief has a set amount of money he can spend every month without the board approval. This person that was doing it was spending it without asking the chief. He said if he had to ask somebody, he didn't need to be here, so he walked out.
So that's one of many reasons, or is it just that reason?
That's what started this whole boil coming down.
I got you.
Yeah. But it's been down. They've been arguing everything ever since then.
I want to make sure I got exactly right. You're saying that these guys have gone through this whole procedure to
It wasn't all of them. It was just the one. And then he's got the other ones to follow.
And the intention there is to get rid of 2 of your firefighters that they don't like.
Exactly.
That's it.
That's the bottom line.
Okay.
That's the reason they're trying to push Buddy Cardin out of the fire department. And I'll promise you that's the reason. Because it just boiled down to that for the last 6 months. It's just been, you need to get rid of them. You need to get rid of them. Well, when it's not their way, they've walked. And that ain't the way you do it. You sit down, you have a normal conversation. This is the way we used to do it before some of this come up. Us as a fireman in a circle, if we didn't like somebody, or they wasn't doing what they're supposed to, or they just kept messing up, we'd talk about it as a group. And then we'd go to the chief and tell him what was going on. Well, if he didn't agree with it, then that's when this carried it to the board. And 9 times out of 10, when the firemen go to the chief, that somebody's not doing what you're supposed to be doing and they keep messing up, usually we got rid of it through the chief. It never had to go to the board.
And so how did we have this come about? Did you stop doing that? I mean, you all guys...
One certain person thought he could do it the way he wanted to do it. It was his way or no way.
Well, now, then I have one final question. You may have some more questions. I heard what you said. These guys who resigned brought in their big list, 7, 8 items that they didn't like. Is that list accurate? Or is that...
Safety? No, there's never been a safety issue over here. I mean, this is another thing. The safety thing, I don't know where that's coming from. But it's Buddy, I guess, being old school, and he don't wear turnout gear, and he don't wear air pants. But he don't never go in the fire either. But he's all around it, and he's telling people what needs to be done. And most of the time it was me. He's telling me what needs to be done, what don't. Or I'd be, but that's their safety issue right there because he never wears turnout gear, and he never puts air pack on. But he never goes in a fire either. I mean, he's not supposed to. That's the reason we're here.
Gotcha.
And one of the other things, and I'm on Maurice, when he was assistant chief, we had a 18-wheeler wreck on the interstate. One of our other firefighters, one he's wanting to put out, was on the scene in his personal vehicle. I've been on the interstate 50 times in my career in my personal vehicle. Buddy and 2 other trucks were headed there in fire trucks. Well, what you do when you go to the fire scene, you give a scene size up what's going on. First one that's on the scene tells the rest of them what's going on. So they know what to expect when they get there. He was giving the scene size up. Maurice Reynolds calls him on the telephone, tells him to get his ass off the interstate. Why? Because he wants him gone from here. That's it. I mean, that's it. He wants him gone. He told him to get off, and that's what started this last part of it. Because Buddy Cardin asked Maurice to apologize to Budge for doing him that way on the interstate, and that's when all this comes about.
Gotcha. So really, this all boils down to just people not liking each other. Sounds like.
Not liking what?
Not liking each other. For whatever reason.
Yeah, it's just a few of them they don't like. It's not everybody.
Okay.
You can ask them about me, and they ain't got no hard feelings against me. They said they don't anyway. They may tell y'all different things, but it's been fair to all of them. I'll talk to anybody. I mean, it don't cost nothing to talk to somebody. And he wasn't right there at it. He was just telling Buddy there was what was going on. Buddy was headed there with fire truck, and hazmat got there before anybody's. And that's what started a lot of the escalating this thing up.
What else do we need to know that you want to tell the public, particularly the folk?
I can't talk about part of it right now.
Okay.
It'll be a later
date. Okay.
Anything about the case?
What case?
The charges they filed against you?
My lawyer says I didn't lay a hand on him, so there ain't much to it.
Okay.
That's what he says.
All right.
I don't know if I need to say that, but that's what he says. I don't care if they like it or not.
No, I think both of us, and I can't speak for him, we just want to find out your side of the story, period.
And that's the other side of it. I mean, it's just them wanting two people out, and the only way to get them two people out is to push him out. He was out for a while, then he come back. When he come back, this fire department couldn't even pay their freaking light bill. They couldn't pay their freaking light bill. Now there's over $100,000 in the bank, 15 years later. You tell me he's doing something wrong.